Yeah. All right. So, like you say, them level one and twos, they're pretty much off the chain too, because everybody's trying to earn their little name. You know what I mean? I'm Big Bird from West Side Sesame Street. You know what I mean? Like, and now you guys are having. I don't know if you particularly or not had Northerners running with you. Like you guys kicked it with them. You played cards with them. You gambled with them. You spread with them. I don't know if your car did that or not. But I know that's you guys. That's part of your car, the Northern car, right?
Well, not. I mean, for the blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what the thing with them is they come in and I mean they just because they black. You know what I mean? That's it. But a lot of them don't. It don't be part of our car because our cars. That's the thing about with the blacks in prison, man. There's so much division, bro, because we got so many different fractions. You know what I mean? It's one thing coming out of LA, you got Crips and Bloods, right? But then we got the cats from up north who in the beginning didn't like the Crips. See, the Crips, we had it all. Everybody's against the Crips. You know what I mean? So our mentality, we coming up in prison, it's like just Crip or nothing when I first came through. Because nobody like us. So that's why the Crips would come to jail and we'll stick together on some Crip shit. But as far as everybody else, because the blacks from up north, which we used to call back in the day, we called them 415s. They changed their names with different shit. They got different fractions. But for us, at one time, it was all the 415s. They didn't like the Crips. The Bloods and Crips didn't get along, so they connected to be against us. So
right.
From on. Then we got these motherfuckers against us. Then we got all the other races against us. Only other race that was the others was the only ones that's always kind of neutral with it, with the Crips, the blacks. Like, okay, because a lot of others is Crips too. They Crips and Bloods, but they got a lot of Crips that's Samoans and others, Asians and shit like that. But so it was a difference. But nowadays they come in, we fuck with them. I fuck with some back then. I actually went up there, man. My first term, I got into a fight, man. As soon as I hit the dorm in Jamestown, one of these dudes, man, this dude from up north. And they colors was red. So they had the red rags and shit. So
we could still wear rags back then. Tell them, man. We had tennis shoes with colors. We had everything back then.
Okay, so I went to there. Of course, I started getting rags in my package, but it was fucked up in Jamestown, bro, because they had the fire camp training right there, right? And when they do you fire camp training, they put you in all red. They used to give us red shorts and the red shirts say PFT or FTP on that shit, and they get fucking Chuck Taylors, some fake Chuck Taylors. They was white. Some people had red ones. They started giving our red ones and tripped this shit. They gave everybody fucking red rags at the laundry room, dude. Everybody had a fucking red rag. I don't want that shit. So don't want that. I don't know red rags. So I'm 18, so I'm up here coming out, and I'm coming out of LA County G. I'm coming out the Crip module. At that time, we was like 4,700. So I'm like coming out the game module. So, also back then, you didn't have Bloods on the main line in the county.
No, absolutely not.
100, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying nothing bad about because I know some Bloods that get cracking which eventually they did, you know what I mean? But it just the majority, it was just so many Crips and there was so many dominant, it was just so So anyway, we up here now, they gotta come to our yard to go to fire camp training. So when they was coming over there, a lot of times we was catching them, like, what's up? We getting cracking in the dorms. That was Jamestown, you know what I mean? But that's how shit was back then, man. That was the late 80s, going into the early 90s. The 90s things changed, you know what I mean?
Everything changed.
They made a big change. So 90s, the Bloods, like, boom. The county jail mainline, they made their stance. They came out, all that shit. They did what they did, you know what I mean? Respected them for what they did, you know what I mean? But shit was different. Like I say, a lot of people never liked the Crips. And to this day, it's a trip, right? So I don't know what you know about this, like federal shit. We have issues with a lot of cats from D.C.,
right?
Blacks in DC don't really like us out here. You know what I mean? I've never been to the feds, but everybody been to the feds tell me this. But a lot of the homies tell me certain things is changing. Certain people is fucking around with each other. But as a whole, people don't like cats from Cali. I think they don't like no races from Cali. Come to think of it,
none.
Just the blacks. It's just every race from Cali. They don't like fucking with us. So in the feds, they got a whole different structure of what's going on. You know what I mean? So prison life fucked up, huh? Prison life fucked up.
There's no other way to put it, huh? Prison life was fucked up. Hey, remember back then, they fed us, bro. You can't deny they fed us, man. And then when there'd be pork on the line, they'd write pork on the line and tape it up so you got, the blacks, the Muslims didn't have to eat it or whatnot. But you had to carry a tray with two hands, man. Remember Saturday morning, you get that big old rosca and put your oatmeal on top of it with fucking peanut butter.
Yeah.
and shit was off the hook, bro. Fucking, we used to get fucking little rib steaks with bones in them. I got cut out. And then
All that. And hey, it's crazy you said that about the rolls, right? Because everybody remember that them big ass cinnamon rolls back then. And I knew, like, for me back then, I was young. I was like, okay, Chino had the biggest ones to me. Them motherfuckers bought like that big. Peanut butter and oatmeal and that shit. In the morning, that shit was like, look forward to Saturday mornings and shit when you get that certain. But shit was different. You had silverware there, real silverware too.
Silverware, yeah.
Aluminum metal plates and trays and shit back then and shit like that. But
boy, were they dangerous too, man. During a riot, those things would peel a cat quick, man.
Hey, just to be here though, man, on some real shit. Just to be right here, we doing this interview right now, man. This is a blessing, man. This is good shit because a lot of cats didn't make it out. A lot of cats killed in there or just still in there. Man, I start seeing people, man, getting up in age and start dying of different shit in there, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I seen cats, man. I didn't like wheelchair push one of my homies around the yard, man, and he ended up dying of cancer in there, man. It's just so much shit nowadays, bro. It's like, you know, with the older we get and the different levels and shit we done been through and the things we see, man, you just like, man, and to be still here, it's like, oh man, I'm just like
blessed, man. Every day blessed. You know, respect on that for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely that.
I remember back then too, they didn't even know what AIDS was, and they called it the grid. And all of a sudden they'd be coming on, they'd be pulling like 6, 8 of the homeboys off, and you'd be like, "Where you going, dog?" Thinking they're rolling it up or locking it up or something. "Where you going?" They'd be like, "Man, I'm going to Del Norte, bro. I got this shit called the grid." You know what I mean? Which was HIV at the time, and it later came out, obviously. But man, and that's from everybody sharing needles in there too. You know what I mean? Like, just it ran rampant for a minute. So, like you said, all the things we've done, gotten tattoos in there. I've shot dope after whatever in there. You know what I mean? Like, I always had my own outfit, and then I had a pimp outfit. Like, I would pimp that outfit out to, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But just things are so much different, bro. So much different. And the respect that we got from the police back then, it was yes, sir, no, sir. You know what I mean? Like, not like it is today. There was fucking off the chain. You get your roll in a box now. You know, like, you starving up in there. I remember when I was in the shoe, bro, I 602'd all the way to Sacramento, the heart healthy diet, you know, 4 ounces of peas, you know what I mean? It was 4 ounces of whatever vegetable, like, it's 1,900 calories, exactly what they gave the working Jew during World War II.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but I was starving, bro. If I didn't have some money, I was starving, and I didn't have some girl. You had game. Obviously, something else happened in there when we were doing our last term, huh?
Oh yeah, that came later. But what you're talking about now, hey, because I was in the shoe too, man. I went to that same shit. I remember being up in there, man. Crippin, I with 483 left, 483 left or something like that. But back then we had everybody go to the yard together. Now they got the fucking little cages out there, but back then they didn't have that shit. So I was there when it was like active, when they was really shooting out there, shooting motherfuckers. But
plus they were trying to put us out there together, whites and blacks, and the, you know what I mean? They were putting us out to the yard.
Man, that's why I tell people I end up going back there on this last term, right? And this time I was a level 3, but I worked over in the shoe kitchen, and I was telling people that's how I should see it. I like, okay, now I was right next to 4B. You know what I mean? But I'm looking, I see this shit is way different. They got the little fucking kennel cages out there. Everybody go out to the kennel cages. That's because all the lawsuits people then got, you know, killed over the years. But when I was there in the 90s, bro, we all go to the yard out there, that little mini ass yard. And that shit was just all active. They out there busting the big block guns and shooting the little HK9 they was shooting. So that's before they ended up killing one of the homies from East Coast, got killed up there, fighting with the South Side on the yard up there. That was around the time the whole Green Wall shit, all that shit came about. But one of the homies got killed up there, and his family settled, you know what I mean, different stuff. But they now they got cages everywhere though. But yeah, I was back there, man, in 4A back then. They used to bring us all, put all our cup of noodle soups and shit in a fucking brown paper bag, our chips and little Ritz crackers and shit all in the bag, and fucking put the shampoo and the shit in the cups and all that shit. I think the difference with the shoes was Corcoran let you get fucking hair grease in the little cup. Pelican Bay didn't give you no hair grease.
Yeah.
Pelican Bay shoe gave you real toothpaste. Corcoran, we had tooth powder back then. So
Too
I think
powder, bro.
for all of us that had long hair, we get the fucking Pelican Bay shoe over there, and that motherfucker, we didn't have grease, so motherfuckers was putting butter and shit in the hair just for some fucking sheen, just to try to twist it up. And Corking, we had the grease, and we could do this. We got to take it down every time you go to the yard. But man, I was in that motherfucker, dude. I didn't have a fucking TV at that time. I just had a fucking radio. But like this, I was in Corcoran shoe, man, the whole fucking time they had the 92 LA riots. So at that time, I was just reading the newspaper about what was going on in the city at the time. And back then, I was like on some revolutionary militant type shit. I'm back here in this this shoe living. So I'm back here. We had this paper we used to get all the time called the Revolutionary Worker, and it was like some fucking communist type shit. But I was studying all this communist revolutionary type shit, you know what I mean? Because I grew up under what Crip stood for is Community Revolution in Progress. So I was like always all about the revolution. So I was reading, I was studying, I'd have been around G homies, founders and shit. So I was brainwashed. I'm up every morning studying this paper, but I'm in the shoe, like you said, starving like a motherfucker.
Starving, saving that apple core for the nighttime. I'm gonna eat that motherfucker. Believe that.
And I was, but see, like I said, I was doing bad. I didn't have nobody. I just had moms looking out. You know what I mean? The family. I didn't have this, no chicks, none of that shit. I was still young, caught up banging. You know what I mean? I didn't really have time to really commit to no relationship. I wanted to, but the people that knew me knew that he's still with the bullshit.
Nah, I stay away from him.
He wasn't fucking like he ain't learned shit. He's still with the bullshit, and from there I ended up in the Bay, and it continued up there. You know what I mean? Just like
I know fools that were writing homosexuals just you know what I mean, like just to get money.
Yeah, I know something like that too, man. That they was like they was meeting them on a little pen pal site, especially up fucking Fossil, man. Everybody had the paper. It was called a Sacramento Bee back then.
Yeah.
Putting ads in there, man. I knew a dude. That's why I first heard about that at. I knew a dude like that was doing that. Yeah, homosexual from up north that was looking out for him. I'm like, hey man, you just writing them. It ain't like you seeing them. So
right.
You get letters, you doing what you do. I'm like, that ain't me. You know what I mean? But you got shit in the cell. You doing good. Somebody.
Yeah, you eating. I'm not. I guess I'll shut up.
Yeah, so you ain't getting business from this motherfucker. You ain't sending no visiting forms out. So it's like, he's sending you packages and shit. And that's when we was able to get the real packages from the streets. You know what I mean?
Man.
And you put the fucking sack in here. And you in there smoking and shit. You going big in this motherfucker.
Chain, bro. We had it going on back then. You know what I mean? You get your street sweat sent to you, the fucking layer all lined with dope. My old lady would take PCP and inject it into the cartons of cigarettes. So I'd get the whole yard looped. You know what I mean? And it was crazy, bro. Like, it was fun back then. For when you're a pup and you're having fun, you got to make what you make out of it when you're there.
I remember homies with you said injecting. I know people was going on family visits back then, and they was having they wives putting liquor inside the fucking grapefruits and oranges and shit.
For sure. Yeah, everything we figured out everything, and once we figured out everything, Renee Boxer fucked it all up for us. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.